До свидания!
After spending night in Uzbekistan desert, it was time to move on, to hit the road. But what the road? It was everything but the road. It was a minefield full of potholes, just waiting to screw my bike. In any case, Uzbekistan is more about historical sites than about the road. There was one road, and that was the famous Silk Road, and the famous cities in Uzbekistan, which are gems of Silk Road and must-see places. But before that I had to see this. Remaining of Aral Sea. Aral Sea was once the fourth largest lake in the world, and it ended up on 10% of what it was. Unfortunately, these are remainings of it, so you can see now. In the past this would be a lake, now it's only a bunch of sand, rusty boats. Nice thing to see, nice thing to take a photo, but actually very sad. In any case, when I came, after a few moments some locals came, explained me some stuff, we became friends instantly, and I was glad that they were there to show me the way in the ships, at least, because I couldn't figure out the way to enter without breaking myself.
Нет, это камера. Это GPS, да. До свидания.
And if you're asking me why I didn't went down near the ships with the bike, the answer is quite simple. I met one biker from Germany who was there with the light bike, and he wanted to go down with the bike and got jammed in the sand, so I couldn't let that happen to me with a big bike. And it was time to visit the historical places on the Silk Road. First in line was a city called Khiva. By the legend, it was founded by the oldest son of Noah, the one that survived the big flood, Shem. And by archaeologists, it's old some 1,500 years.
Wow, the old city is really amazing. I think I'm gonna stay here one day more.
Unfortunately, this hotel, which was made inside of old caravanserai, the place where caravans were staying on their way to China, was fully booked, so I managed to stay there only for one night, and evening was not enough, or even morning, to check out the city. So I had to find another place.
yesterday I was traveling all day. I was thinking that I will come around 2-3 o'clock in a city, but the roads are terrible, so it takes you much longer. You need to drive slow. Yes, you need to drive much slower, and so I asked the guy where I was, can I stay one more night, but he was fully booked, that's why.
And this hotel was also a nice place to be. I mean, inside of the old city. Beautiful. And Khiva, as you can see, is a really nice place. It's seen its share of history from Persian times, Genghis Khan, Silk Road times, Turkish times, I mean, you name it. You can feel history on every corner. Khiva is on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. As you can see, whole city was made out of brick and mud and ceramic tiles. As you can see, this tower down the street. It's very beautiful. This is, as they call it, madrasa, or it's kind of a Muslim university where young people, as nowadays, would learn about history, art, music, philosophy, faith. And it was time to move on. Unfortunately, I can't afford to be in some places even beautiful as this one is for more than a few days, cause it would jeopardize the whole plan of managing this voyage. This is outside of the old city. You see, it's huge. It's really huge. It's telling you how powerful the city was at its peak. The one thing that is problematic in Uzbekistan, and about that I already told a few words, is getting a proper fuel. The whole country is running on gas. There are natural gas reserves, but gasoline is not there, and not many people are driving on it. So I had problem finding places where to, you know, fuel my bike. And even when you find it, then you have a problem, cause, for example, here I found 91 octane fuel, and I was very happy to see that number, cause in earlier cases I found 86 or something, which is very low, so my bike was, you know, hiccuping during the driving. Nevertheless, it's not a big deal. I mean, I had octane additives, so I was adding them, and everything was pretty much okay. One thing I didn't like in Khiva, and it could be the case because I was not asking the right questions to the right people, was places to get a decent meal. Don't get me wrong, I adore Central Asia cuisine, simply because it's gathering all the tastes from the Silk Road, so from Europe up to China. And the thing in Khiva was that the places where I was eating were simply, you know, as you call them, touristic restaurants, where you eat a little and it's not, you know, not the best that they can offer. And this is Bukhara. Bukhara, where I prepared myself, asked the guy at the hotel, and he got me in the right direction to get to the proper restaurant, the local one, so it was amazing. Bukhara is, as well as Khiva, 1,500 years old city, as well on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The thing with Bukhara is that when Genghis Khan was passing through Central Asia and basically destroying everything that was in front of him, he stopped in Bukhara and he couldn't destroy it because he was simply in love with the architecture that was there. So parts of it were untouched by Mongols, especially this tower that you can see it here. Beautiful city, full of madrasas or universities as Khiva. Nice marketplaces on open and enclosed with all the stuff that Central Asia can offer. Carpets, cups, dishes. And the funny thing is, when you are traveling with the bike, you see a lot of stuff on these markets that you would like to buy. The prices are not even that high, but you are in a lack of space on the bike. So I was buying, you know, bits and pieces, putting them together, even posting some of them back home if I and when I could. So yeah, if you want to call it disadvantage, that's one of the disadvantages when you're traveling light or with the bike. This town here that I'm approaching, it's called Shahrisabz, or historically it's known as Kish. They are saying that it's, let's say, 2,700 years old or even more. It's as well as other two cities that I was in on the UNESCO's World Heritage Site list. This is Aksaray Palace that was built by Timur. And Timur is a guy or emperor or a warlord who continued to rule this Central Asia territory, basically from Turkey up to Iran and north up to Kazakhstan. And he was ruling this area after Genghis Khan. These guys here are nice people that I met here that were good enough to show me the place, to have a lunch with me. You rarely meet those kind of people, you know, patriots who are deeply in love with their place and want to share that with foreigners, to explain what is this city all about, what's the history all about, and I deeply thank them for that. And as you can see here, the scenery is changing quite a lot, and I was very happy to see that, because after a few days driving across desert in a straight line, finally I was winding across the mountain. I mean, incredible. I was heading to Kitibaevsky Pass, which is on 1,788 meters.
Hello, guys. Хорватия, Rakitić, Mandžukić, Modrić, знаешь? Да.
I'm always happy to see kids interested in a bike, and when I can help them put them on a bike, put them helmet on, and when I see a great joy in their eyes, I mean, that's, as they say on the advertise for MasterCard, that's priceless. I took few photos of them. They were enjoying going one after another on a bike. They even gave me a bag of tea, which is, you know, usually harvested on these mountains. In any case, as in all the places, new friends are always welcome. Naturally, going downhill, I was enjoying curves again. The only thing that was stopping me from, let's say, greater joy was, you can guess it, potholes. That's right. roads in Uzbekistan are, let's say, not well maintained. So this is a nicer part of the road and you speed it up. And then this road came and you hit the pothole. So naturally I was swearing a lot during this voyage through Uzbekistan, but I can't say that I was not enjoying. City that I'm entering in is the next in line of the Silk Road historic cities. Its name is Samarkand, and as well as others, it's around 1500 years old. It was a capital of previously mentioned Timur's empire, so as such it's full of monuments in his honor. Those Silk Road cities with its squares, madrasas, buildings that are filled up with tiles are definitely one of the most beautiful cities that Muslim world can offer when we are talking about architecture. From Samarkand to Tashkent, roads started to be more decent, so it was much bigger pleasure to ride, and I was already forgetting unpleasant roads from before. And when entering in Tashkent, there was one funny thing. Every direction had like 4 or 5 lines, and the simple reason for that was because during the Soviet period, this town, as a bordering town, was using its roads as alternative place to land its warplanes. This is the hotel where I was staying, and from it onward to see the town I was not using warplanes, I was not using bike, I was using metro. And they are saying that after the Moscow one, that this is one of the most beautiful to see. Tashkent is more than 2000 years old. Population is somewhere around 2.5 million. There's a lot of things to see. As previously in Samarkand, here as well you will see monuments of Timur as the biggest emperor that ruled this area. Tashkent was last city in Uzbekistan before I will cross the border. I enjoyed my time in Uzbekistan, seen many historical places, and now I was more than eager to enter Tajikistan, where something completely opposite will happen. You know, off-road, nature, and I was looking forward to it.